All right, brand new React, hot off the press. It's really not, actually. I saw this earlier, and I totally forgot to put it in my list because I don't know why. Why would I miss an epic moment like Montoya crapping on gaming publications? Like, is there any better content than this on the internet? I don't think so.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. If you've been wondering why Star Citizen is taking so long to make, almost 10 years, we have some groundbreaking journalism here, some really in-depth, hard-hitting journalism by someone named Andy Chalk. I don't believe I've covered any Andy Chalk articles in the past. But
dude, I love he just straight goes for him too. Full name, everything.
Andy Chalk has gone down and really done the work to find out why Star Citizen is taking so long. And the answer is bedsheet deformations. I kid you not. So there's a lot to talk about here. I guess I'll begin with explaining what rage bait is, or the rage clicks. The reason why you'll see many journalists, I know a lot of you are new, so welcome, but the reason why you'll see journalists going for this angle in Star Citizen is it's much easier to get more traffic, more clicks. When you make people angry or when you bash something people like, they're more likely to go see what's happening there. So for example,
what I find so weird about that statement is I've very traditionally been the rage baiter, I guess, in a lot of ways. Not really on purpose. I was legitimately just raging because I was upset and not really trying to bait as much. And like, obviously thumbnails are meant to be clicky. YouTube does the same things. But if you really look at YouTube and see what videos do really, really well, it's the ones that are like sensational about Star Citizen's potential or visuals or whatever. They do like insanely well. So like, I don't know like why journalism is so different. Maybe because reading is a lot less boring than looking at cool visuals, but it seems like publications have to do way more ragey stuff, where someone like me has actually struggled to grow because of it on YouTube. Where when it comes to articles, it seems the other way around.
Example, if I had to write a video, if I had to write an article or make a video about Star Citizen saying Star Citizen is great, the only people that will really go see that are people who already like Star Citizen because they want their bias confirmed.
Not
now,
true
if you
necessarily,
want more clicks,
but for writing, it seems to be, yeah, it's just weird.
What you say is Star Citizen, possibly a scam. What that's going to do is get people who love Star Citizen to go see, oh my goodness, what's happening? I have to go see why it's possibly a scam. But also people who absolutely...
No. It's the people who love Star Citizen that go, hold on. I have to get my shield, and I have to get my sword, and I have to defend my king, King Roberts.
hate Star Citizen, who do feel it's a scam, they'll also go read that article or watch that video, giving you double to triple the amount of views. That's the incentive journalists have to write bad things all the time. Now, Star Citizen is not without its criticism. They have a very non-traditional development cycle and funding model. But to actually sit there and say that the reason why Star Citizen is taking so long is because of bedsheet deformation physics is an outright lie. But more than that, Andy Chalk is essentially insulting his readers. He's being disingenuous and saying, my readers and my followers are stupid, and I'm going to capitalize on their stupidity by claiming that Star Citizen is taking long because of bedsheet physics. So
I'm pretty sure Andy Chalk is just a gamer that wanted to make a few dollars and just wrote some stupid article, because what else was he going to do? And every article he writes, he makes a little bit of money. I don't think he's putting any journalistic integrity into anything, as most of the people who write these articles do. They just don't, because why would they?
To begin the article,
Yeah, like I don't think Andy had any sort of master plan here. I think he was just like, "Yo, here's an easy fucking way to make $40 or $100 or whatever the hell they got
In
paid."
development for well over a decade now. Yeah, let's give him that. It's getting close to 10 years. And raised 450, which is true. And if you're wondering why it's still in the alpha state all this time, the latest update from CIG might hold a clue. And the clue is it comes down to bedsheet deformation. So I love this on so many different levels because it hits on all the important points. One of the common criticisms we usually get in Star Citizen is that they have to stop making ships so they can finish the game, you see. And when you explain to people that there's actually 800 employees at CIG right now, and selling ships is the funding model, but if they had to stop making ships, then funding would stop, right? And then you explain that. Well, you ask, I love doing that. How many people do you think work on ships in Star Citizen? Often you'll get people saying, well, at least 300-400 people. But the answer is no. The answer will shock you. 5 things. That's actually the title of my next video. 5 things will shock you about Star Citizen. There are at any point in time, I would say 5 to 10 people working on ships. There's the concept artist.
I think this is as much speculation as possibly this article is. I'm not sure okay, listen. Developers do talk to content creators, and sometimes they will tell you things that you may not know. Objection, speculation, you're watching way too much of the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial, okay? I don't think that he may know something that we don't. But I just think that sounds like really low.
It's a texture lighting artist.
I agree with him. It's not 200 or 300 people, but I don't think it's 5.
5 to 10 people working on ships. That's it. Maybe a little more, maybe a little less, depending on what ships are in the pipeline. There are over 795 more employees.
For example, there are what is currently in the pipeline? You have the Drake Corsair, you have the Drake Vulture, you have the Banu Merchantman, which is massive. You have 4 unannounced ships. So that is 7 ships. So if one person was working on them individually, which I think we know is not the case, Scorpius is another one, so 8. You would assume that there's multiple people working on it at multiple stages, right? So there's animators and there's artists and there's the vehicle experience team. So like that's where he's not, like Montoya is completely off here, is that you have some people drawing the concept art. You have some people doing that. And maybe he's saying at any given time there's 5 to 10 people. I'd still say that it's got to be higher than that. Vehicle Content EU has 16 art people alone, and I think that's probably from the progress tracker. So, yeah, it's Michael Kroganov. There are thousands of people working on chips. Just look at their paying QA team, us, that are working on to make sure the chips work in game. True. Yeah, I'd say at least 20, 30 people. Especially at a Invictus time of year, right?
Working on other things. So how many people do you think are working on bedsheet deformation right now in Star Citizen? And if Chris Roberts had to go to speak to Sean Tracy, and Sean Tracy is the technical director of content, and say, I need you to stop working on fabric and fabric deformation, by the way, back in 2018.
So I dropped it on the back, and I've got a little wind entity actually attached to the back. So let's
fabric deformation.
turn on the ship, and it blows off onto these poor guys back there. this now within.
So that's Sean Tracy on the left over there showing us fabric deformation back in 2018. This exists, but if you had to go tell Sean Tracy here, stop working on this, will it make the game complete faster? Now, Sean Tracy is not involved on the networking side or the engine side or the quanta side or whatever else is happening. He specializes in this one thing. If you had to stop doing that one thing, it will not make the game go any faster. And the thing.
This is where you're dead wrong, Montoya. You're right in the sense that this one thing will not slow down the game's development. But what has slowed down the game's development is hundreds of these little things that have happened over the years. Hundreds of these things, these little details that are what make Star Citizen great, are the reason for the slow development. The giant scale, the adding, oh my God, I can look inside the barrel of a gun and see the round, and like all the incredible detail is what makes Star Citizen great, but it also is what makes Star Citizen slow. And there's nothing wrong, in my opinion, with being upset at times at the pace of the development of the game. Montoya didn't have as much gray in his beard when he started making YouTube videos. I had none. Now I have about as much gray in my beard as Montoya did when he started, right? Like, time is a real thing, and there comes a time where the focus needs to be a little bit less on these crazy little details. But like he showed, the fabric stuff and the bedsheet stuff has been worked on for a very long time now. So it's not something new. It's not something. This is just something that, the classic PC gamer who doesn't pay attention to development is going to focus on the one thing that they can. But saying that this one thing is not a problem, sure. But the problem with Star Citizen is there's a bunch of those things that stack up, and then we end up where we are now.
Is that Andy Chalk knows this, all right? Andy Chalk is well aware of that fact, but he's counting on the fact that his readers are stupid, which is such a big insult to the people who follow Andy Chalk. And but like I explained in the beginning, it's basically the rage clicks, and that's what he's counting on. But more so, what's disappointing in this, in reading his bio here, Andy's been gaming in PCs from the very beginning, starting as a youngster with text adventures and primitive action games on cassette-based TRS-80s. Now, I did not have the pleasure of owning this, but my neighbor did, and there was nothing more frustrating than having to load in the cassette, having that cassette have to load up into the RAM, only for something to fail and having to start from the beginning again. Those were painful times. I'll get to my point in a second. From there, he went on to graduate to the glory days of Sierra Online. Yes, Sierra Online, the logo of Sierra Online. When you start up a game and you saw that logo come up, you knew you were up for a good time. And the endorphin release from the sound, the 8-bit sound coming through, you knew something good was about to happen. MicroPosims, yes, he ran a local BBS. So from everything being said over here, I'm
BBS?
guessing he's in his late 40s, early 50s, maybe a couple of years above me. But he and I probably have the same outlook. And the problem is this: what happens to older gamers is we're always looking for the next big endorphin hit. And the older you get, the more far and few in between those endorphin hits from gamings come. Now, I know that I've said this before,
gotcha.
in the big rush I had, the last big rush I had in the game, which I'm always chasing to find more of, is back in 2008 when Fallout 3 came out. In Fallout 3, when you go through the whole beginning vault and the vault door opens up and you see the outside world for the first time, that rush, that was the first open world RPG I played. That rush of just the anticipation and excitement of everything out there was something I chased and I keep on chasing forever. Skyrim gave me that, all right? And I hope that Starfield coming out soon will give me that too. But there is a game giving me that right now. And that game is Star Citizen. Every single time I get off a planet or I leave a landing zone, I arrive at a landing zone, I am just blown away by it. And it's not only me. Here's a YouTuber, as I was making this video, this YouTuber comes up, this Ollie43, who I've never actually watched or heard of before. He's making Star Citizen content, and his viewers are absolutely loving it.
Is this the thumbnail guy? With the ridiculous thumbnails? Maybe not. No, I don't think it is.
5 million subscribers. Not only him, but I've spoken about Jack Frags also. Here's another YouTuber making Star Citizen content. The point I'm making is people playing the game are loving it and cannot get enough of it. People not playing the game are concerned about bedsheet physics deformation. All right, so just take a look at what Jack Frags has been doing here. Now, he's not a Star Citizen content creator. He does all kinds of different games, but the video he made 2 months ago in Star Citizen, 1.1 million views. Nothing he has done since then has gotten that kind of views. What does this tell you? This tells you there's a lot of gamers out there absolutely loving Star Citizen. More recent video 2 weeks ago, 630.
I think it's more telling that they're interested in it, that it intrigues them, and they will watch a YouTube video on it, but I don't know if they would play it day in and day out. It is not a daily driver game, no matter what you say, Montoya. For some people, it might be a get in and play every day, hang out with your friends, but it is not a daily driver game for these kind of content creators either, right? Warzone, Battlefield, Sea of Thieves, right? Like, these are games that these are people's daily drivers. It's a nice game to watch. I think there's no denying, Montoya, that, and you know this to be true, that this is not a playable, great experience yet. There are a lot of bugs. There are a lot of issues that none of the other games on this screen have. And the reason that they get less views is because the game's actually fun to play, and it's not something. Star Citizen is something that they know nothing about. So I think that they're a little bit more intrigued in it. And obviously the visuals are stunning, right?
39,000 views. Nothing he has done since then has gotten that many views. What is that telling you? Gamers are finding Star Citizen and loving Star Citizen. So to go and cry and complain of bedsheet deformations is so disingenuous, and I believe doing a big disservice not only to his readers but all readers of PC Gamer coming across that.
Yeah,
but I do predict that I'm going to put $100 down on this. Andy Chalk comes around, much like these big YouTubers are. It will happen. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, let's wrap up this video. If you enjoy my content, as always, give me a thumbs up.
Let me link it to you guys. There you go. But yeah, I think Montoya's like just a tiny bit off there with why people are excited or whatever. But the point is there. I mean, the guy is focusing only on the bedsheet stuff. But Michael Krakonoff in chat is saying, since the bedsheet meme started, Star Citizen searches on Google have doubled. And that's what I mean. It's the intrigue. They don't know about it. And they're intrigued, and they're interested, and they're checking it out. And that is, I think, the difference. And like, it's almost like CIG pays PC Gamer to do this shit. And just like any news is good news kind of thing. Because, I mean, this article is just stupid, but the clicks are happening. I don't like, who reads PC Gamer anymore? I guess people do. It's so weird. The fact that like clicks are up since the meme started. Hey, I guess people still read PC Gamer. Like, does anybody have PC Gamer like on their bookmark bar? Like, I don't know. It's a weird concept to me. We have YouTube now.